Yeah, if you're unable to tell the difference between real-life driving and a video game, I really don't think you should be driving or playing video games. Anyways, this is in retrospect for Need for Speed Underground. How you guys doing? We've got some Lil Jon and the East Side Boys playing in the background. I'm going to load up my profile. And let's just talk about racing games in general first. I've never been a fan of racing games in general. This and Wipeout Fusion are about as far as I go. Well, unless you include like kart racing games like Crash Team Racing or Mario Kart, that kind of thing. I do like those. But like if you take Gran Turismo for an example, that is the pinnacle of like racing games in my opinion. And it's, you know, consistently rated one of the highest like 10 out of 10 games in like all magazines and stuff. But I acknowledge that as an incredible game. It's kind of like Beethoven to me. I acknowledge how good it is, but I'm not really a big fan, so I just, you know, whatever. But yeah, anyways, this is my ride. This is my yo, it's your boy Westwood. And this is my ride. Got some nice neon lights there, got a dragon on the side, got a nice little spoiler, all this cool stuff. I'm not like an ostentatious kind of person who believes in all this kind of, yeah, make your car look as good as you possibly can to get all the bitches or whatever. Not really. I'm a pretty simple person when it comes to that kind of thing. But when it comes to this game, I will make my ride look as ridiculous and as ostentatious as I possibly can. I like the pretty colours and the brightness and the overall loud nature of these cars in the game. But yeah, it's an amazing game. There's an amazing depth of customization you can go into. Not just the mechanics of the car itself, like the speed and the nitrous oxide. Yep, nitrous oxide, believe it or not. All that kind of stuff you can put on, but as well as the appearance makes a big difference. Based on how like much you put into your appearance, like the quality of the vinyls or the paint or whatever you put on, that determines your popularity rating in the game. And with your popularity rating comes style points. It's like a multiplier to increase the style points you get. And what are style points, you ask? Well, if you do certain tricks in the game, in races, I say tricks, they're not really tricks, but stuff like a power slide or a shortcut gets you points, and winning races obviously as well. And you spend these points on more stuff. You spend it on unlocking more things, like more nitrous or whatever. You buy it for yourself, you buy it for your car, so it's all good. And yeah, this is just a sprint race to start with. Sprint's my favourite game mode in the game. Aside from the standard kind of circuit thing where you have just like laps over and over again, Sprint is kind of different in that it takes a point A and a point B and it says you must drive from there to there and that's it, no laps or anything. Sprint's my favourite game mode because I don't really like the idea of going around in circuits. It's, I don't know, I just don't really like it. But yeah, Sprint's good, and the way the maps work in this game is they're not all separate maps. They're kind of interlinked, and basically for each variation on the map, aka each level, it basically closes off certain areas of the map, opens up new ones, it basically creates a new route through it. So it does recycle certain areas of certain maps, but there are a lot of different ones as well, so it's not all completely just boring and mundane. Each one seems different is what I mean, so it's good. And yes, Sprint's a good game mode, and there are a few others as well. I'm going to show you some gameplay from Drift and Drag as well, I think. You can see all these little colours and dials and stuff going on there. Very nice little dashboard there. And I'll tell you, one of the best things about this game to me is the way it gives you such a sense of speed. It's called Need for Speed. You'd expect to get speed, otherwise you'd want your money back. You'd be a bit disappointed. But it really does genuinely give you a good sense of speed. As you're going along, you get all these lights flashing towards you, and the cars, you've got to dodge traffic, all that kind of thing. As well as the nitrous oxide, that's when it really gets crazy. The vision goes blurry and you're like, oh, what's going on? And this was the first time I played it in months. Again, I know I say this every single in retrospect game, I gotta like cover myself and gotta clarify that every time I do one of these, it's likely that I haven't played it in ages, and therefore I have to get used to it again, so I'm not gonna be as good as I was. But yeah, let's show you some Drift. Drift, I'm gonna go for the MX-5 again. The MX-5, although not very powerful in terms of speed, it has very good handling, so it's good for this kind of thing. No, drag, sorry, we're gonna go for drag first. And the MX-5 is not good at drag for that same reason I just said. But let's go for it anyway, why not? And yeah, drag race is simple. You just go in a straight line, race to the end first, that's it. There is no cornering at all. It automatically stays in the lane, although you can shift lanes if you want by pressing left and right. That's only to avoid traffic and other cars though. The main part of the game is actually getting the gear shifts right. Now you see I got a perfect shift there. You've got to get the timing exactly right when it goes to the revs. Much like real life, I know a lot of you probably don't drive manual cars or drive cars at all, but Believe me, manual cars, the gears, they are the hardest part of driving. I've heard Pyrotoz go on about his driving lessons at the moment, and yeah, believe me, he's right. Getting the hang of those gears, finding the bite point, all that kind of thing is extremely hard when you first start driving. Anyways, we're going to show you some drift gameplay in a second. Drift is my second favourite game type after sprint. Drift is one that the MX-5 is good at, because handling is what you need in this. You don't want to be quick. You definitely don't want to be quick. This is all based on power sliding, that's literally it. You see the previews of these drift tracks here, you can see they're much more basic. It's kind of in a closed area, you're not in like the streets with the other traffic and stuff. And although you are against opponents, you don't have the opponents with you. So you're completely by yourself, you have a lot more complete control, and it feels much more kind of slow-paced and relaxed, you know? And but the way you do it is, it basically loosens up the handling a bit. It makes it so you have much more drifting deliberately when you go around corners. So the idea is to rack up these points just by drifting around the corners. The angle you get and the speed you're going at determines how many points you're getting. I suppose speed does have a certain factor in it. But as you pass certain barriers by getting certain drifts in one go, you actually get multipliers as well. As you can see, I've got a 4 times multiplier at the moment. And multipliers are good because you need them to rack up those points. And if you continue drifting around corners, it actually holds the same drift for you. And it keeps continuing to go up. See, I've got 20,000 in one go there. But here's the downside. If you hit something while you're in a mid-drift, or the points are still up on screen, you lose all those points. That's it, they're gone. And if you slow down too much, as you see I just did, you lose some of your multiplier, which is bad, of course. That was it, that was the race over. So, we come to the end of our video here, guys, unfortunately, so please give me a like rating if you enjoyed it. Like ratings are awesome. And we're treated to some Nate Dogg. Not quite as well known as Snoop Dogg. You might call him the underdog. Ah! See what I did there? Alright, on that note, I'm gonna go. See you later. Bye.